Welcome back, everyone. Lights, camera, action. It's Make Our World Your Runway. You know, this is the weekly show that interviews the most fascinating individuals from the world of modeling, fashion, beauty, business, and even the entertainment industry. And today, as always, we have a fabulous show that is planned for you. You are really going to love it. But of course, before we go on to our show, we do have some announcements that we'd like to make. And one of the things that we like to do first is to thank the sponsors that make this weekly show so possible. And those sponsors are the Global Trade Chamber, 100 Successful Women in Business, Carlos Abizo Photography, Lux Salon, Queen Beauty Network, Tower Club, Royal Dames, Vida Designs, and Casa Calabria. So thank you once again, sponsors, for making the show so possible. And we also want to tell our viewers, remember to subscribe to the Global Trade Chamber YouTube channel so that you can see all the shows from Make Our World Your Runway and Success Stories. And as I always say every week, I highly recommend our viewers to tune into Success Stories, because this show features the most amazing women in the world of business and community service. So from humble beginnings to successful entrepreneurs, these women will totally inspire you. And of course, get ready for some exciting conferences, speakers, awards, as 100 Successful Women in Business and the Global Trade Chamber are going to come to a city near you. And that city is going to be Miami, Florida, at the Doubletree Hotel and Convention Center, which is going to take place November 5th and 6th. So we're calling all successful women in business because it's time to shine a light on your achievements. So nominate yourself or a colleague for a chance to be honored at the Special Awards Dinner Gala in Miami, Florida. Let's come together to honor the impactful women in business and community service. Now, remember, to claim the well-deserved award, you need to be present in Miami at the Awards Dinner Gala to receive your award. So once again, nominate yourself or a colleague for the 2025 Reception Award Ceremony. And there will also be networking, conferences, business expo, fashion show, and of course, Make Our World Your Runway will go live. Now, for all this information, please remember to visit the website at www.100swd.com for all the information. Now, we're getting close to the show. This is a free event. But if you want to be a speaker and you want to be an exhibitor, you must go to the website today. I can guarantee you the show is either sold out or close to being sold out. So once again, please go to the website at www.100swd.com for all the information. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as we like to say again, lights, camera, action, on to our show. And the beautiful young lady that we have coming on today was born in the Bahamas. She was born on the lovely island of New Providence. Okay, and she was born into a household, get this, 17 siblings. So family life was full of love and laughter. Her mother and father were the pillars of strength and unwavering support. Her educational journey brought her to the L.N Coakley High School as a senior. She's been an honor roll student throughout and has always known the importance of education. Beyond the classroom, she is the captain of the L.N Coakley Dance Club and the captain of the Exuma Youth Community Band Majorettes. And this year, she competed at the 2025 Miss International World Pageant, where she won the title of Teen International World. So today, we are so honored, and we're going to introduce her now. Please welcome to Make Our World Your Runway, Tanaria Storr. So Tanaria, welcome to Make Our World Your Runway. Hello there, Miss Tanaria.
Hello.
How are you? You look great.
Thank you. I'm good.
How's the weather in the Bahamas? Because we've been getting some crazy weather here.
Same over here. It's raining today.
Yeah, we got bad rain last night. I was in bed and all of a sudden I woke up, thunder, lightning, and wind. I thought we were actually getting a hurricane in the middle of the night, but that's how it is in South Florida because, you know, we're still like in the high 80s and 90s. So you can always bet your last dollar that between 3 and 5 in the afternoon, you're going to get a storm. So, but anyway, my dear, I was reading your bio. 17 siblings?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's no wonder why there was a lot of love and support in your house. 17 siblings. That's amazing. Congratulate your mother and father on that for me. That is really beautiful. Okay. And I was just saying before the show started, all right, I was an only child, but if you count all my cousins that are around my age, it was 45. So
Oh,
45 cousins. Okay. And I was like, wait a minute. Last night I was counting this up. I said, yeah, 45. So I also come from a big family. So I get a lot of love and support. Yes. So, but anyway, you do a lot. I mean, you're captain of the Exuma Youth Community Dance Club. What else do you do in your spare time?
well, right now, everything is school, school, school. I'm studying at the University of the Bahamas. I'm studying law, family law. So I don't really have much spare time. Everything is just in my books, studying, taking exams, taking tests.
Oh yeah, when you're in a university, yeah, there's no downtime. Okay. And even though I went to the Juilliard School of Music to study opera, but I also had to take other courses while I was there because it was a university. There was no time. All right. People used to say to me, what do you do in your spare time? I said, study, study, study. That's it. Really no time. And when you're studying the opera, it's very intense because I had to learn to sing songs in all different type of languages. Okay. Whether it was Italian or French or even some other foreign languages, and then try to go back and sing it in English. I was like getting confused. I was like, wait a minute, what do I actually say here? So I can appreciate, yeah, that right now with your studies, okay, that there isn't much spare time. What are you definitely studying in at the university? So what are you studying at the university?
I want to be a family law attorney. So I'm leaning more towards family law.
Oh, very good. Yeah, family law is great. As a matter of fact, a very good friend of mine, who's been an attorney for years. I mean, he does criminal law, but he was a Palm Beach State attorney for 12 years. And I became very close to him. And now he's written a book, okay? And he said to me, he said, Angela, he said, you should have kept up because I had started to study law, but I was a court reporter, okay? I went more into that in the courtrooms. But believe it or not, he's still telling me, I still want to see you become a full-fledged attorney. I said, at my age, he said, it's never too late. Okay. So if you ever come here, I have to introduce you to him. He's a great person. He was probably the only attorney in the county that I live, Palm Beach County, that really stopped the opioid crisis. So for the 12 years that he was the Palm Beach State attorney, he did a lot. He really brought that county up, okay? So now he's on a book tour. In fact, he's doing another tour today, but it's a little distance for me to get to, but I've gone to every one of his book tours. In fact, when I walk in the room, this is funny. He will not call me by my name. He says, oh my God, Miss International World is here. And that's how he signed the book, to Miss International World. I'm like, Dave. But yeah, he's great. And I think that you and him could actually get on a good conversation. Okay. Because when it comes to the law, he's very, very knowledgeable. He's always on the morning shows, always giving his advice on things that actually happen. So, but I could see you being very good in law.
Thank you.
Yeah, because you're not really shy. I could see that on stage. So I think, yeah, and that's an excellent profession to be in. Okay, because you can have your own law firm, you can work for a law firm. And if you're going into family law, that's probably one of the most needed things in the courtrooms today. I saw that firsthand being a court reporter. It's, believe it or not, it's more packed than some of the other areas of law. So congratulations on that. You're definitely doing the right thing.
Thank you.
So when you came to the pageant, how did you feel when we called your name about winning Teen International World?
Well, I was actually shocked, but I was still grateful that I came this far, that I came all the way from the Bahamas to represent the Bahamas, and I did an amazing job. I made everybody proud. So it made me proud that I could come this far and do so well in a pageant, an international pageant, actually.
You did. You did absolutely amazing. Of course, I don't judge, okay, but I stand back and watch the competition. And when I saw you on stage, I was like, whoa. I said, shh, you blew me away, because the way you came out in the bathing suit, the way you came out. I mean, there's a picture of you in swimwear that is unbelievable. In fact, we're going to add it when we do the whole video, and everything will be up on Thursday. We'll go live. There's a picture of you in swimwear, which is just unreal. I was looking at it last night. I said, oh, this picture has to go in, okay? And then during the parade of costumes and then evening gown, I was like, wow. I said, this girl really knows what she's doing. But you had another title previous to this, am I right?
Yes, I had Miss Teen Top Model 2025.
Wow, that was great. Teen Top Model, yeah. In fact, the designer that did the swimwear, she works with Top Model around the world. And she had some things going that weekend. She couldn't be at the whole show, but of course, she has seen the video and she's seen the pictures. She knew right away. She said, that girl was Top Model. I said, how did you guess? She said, because she said, I know. She said, but yeah, you really did amazing. So, and we've got to get you out there because there's so much coming up on the calendar. And believe it or not, I've got to get to the Bahamas. Because
you have to.
Andrea wants to put me on her show, and she said, but you've got to be here. I said, yes, I know. I have to get to the Bahamas. So, and as a matter of fact, Bahamas was always one of my favorite islands to go to. Always. Aww. I've traveled the Caribbean. I've traveled all over, but I always loved the Bahamas because Nassau is one of my favorite, but all of the Bahamas I like. So, in fact, I have a very good friend of mine, and I'm going to set this up for you, and even Alexandria wants to do this. He owns a couple of boutique hotels in the Bahamas, right there in Nassau. So I definitely want to set it up for you guys to get a photo shoot there.
Okay, that would be nice.
Oh, yeah, no, that would be great. So besides some of the things that we have, what are things that you want to do with your title?
What I want to do with my title, I want to bring more recognition to it into the Bahamas, because not much people know about this pageant over here. So I want to go out and I want to let girls know that you can go off and compete and you could come back, but the experience would be worth $1 million. When you come back, your experience, you could tell everybody how you've met other girls from different countries, all around. Because not
exactly.
You can go.
Yeah. Exactly. That's you're 100% correct on that, because you meet people from other countries and you get to know other cultures. That's why I definitely have to get to the Bahamas, because there are a lot of girls that don't know about Miss International World, So the more, like you say, the more we talk about it and the more we explain, the more girls will want to participate.
Yes.
Exactly. And you're probably the perfect representative to do that.
I am.
Yeah, you certainly are. Okay. And what I've read in your bio, that eventually you want to become a pageant coach.
I do want to become a pageant coach.
You'd be great at that. Okay. You really would. I mean, you've got the stamina for it. Okay. Dance. You really know. And see, anybody that studies dance is great, because then you know how to work the stage.
Yes.
Okay. In addition to me studying vocal music, I also had to study dance. Okay. Not the fact that I was becoming a professional dancer, but it helped with the movements on stage. Because I had a vocal coach that once said to me, you could have the most beautiful voice in the world. She said, but if you're going to stand there and be stiff, after a while, after 20 minutes, nobody's going to listen to you anymore. So I had to learn that. So I incorporate a lot of that. When I do perform solely, I incorporate a lot of dance in with the music. Okay. And then the other thing that I had to learn was how to speak between each song, explain what the song was, but then to hold on to the audience, talk to them as if I was talking to you now or talking to somebody in my living room. So it's a whole process when you're getting out there to perform.
It is.
Yeah. So I think being a pageant coach, you could explain all of that and you'd be great for that. So, but you've done a lot. As far as taking dance, your education, you definitely were like at the top of your class. So I commend you for all of that. That's why I say, where do you get the time to do everything else before you started, going to the university? So all the stuff that you've done was basically amazing. So when you came home, was everybody very proud of you when you won the title?
Everybody was proud of me.
I know when you won, the whole audience was screaming. Yeah, because we had people there from the Bahamas, okay? And I know Miss Bahamas Universe, she was like to the right of me. So when you won, everybody was definitely screaming. It was great. So, but other than that, if any of the girls approached you, other than what you said, how would you convince them to get involved with the pageant?
If a girl was to approach me about being involved in Miss Teen International World, I would say go ahead, do it. You would not regret it. The committee you would meet would be amazing. Go from the photographer to just the choreographers. They all have such a happy spirit and they want to help you. They would help you in areas that you failed. They would tell you what you need to improve in. They would just be supportive and they'd always be there. But the pageant sisters you would gain, it would be out of this world. I still remember Miss Teen USA that came. I still love her to death. We still talk. She was an amazing pageant sister while I was over there. Yes. So I would tell her, go for it. This is an amazing experience. It's a great opportunity and you'd be more exposed. You would get an eye opener for many things that you didn't know by just competing in pageants in the Bahamas.
Exactly. And you want to laugh? You brought up a very good point. The first pageant I ever competed in, I really kind of was not that educated, all right? And believe it or not, it was a legs contest, okay? For one of the telethons that we had. And it was called, I lived in New Jersey, so they called it the Greatest Legs of New Jersey. And I went in there, and I didn't know what to expect, okay? They said, you had to wear a pair of shorts, a nice top. So I go in there, and I got this ruffly shirt on, and, shorts like to my knee, and not very much a high heel, and I got this little bow in my hair. And I went in there, and I looked at these other women, I said, oh, my God. I didn't even want to compete. But I did, and I knew I wasn't even going to make it into top 10 at all. So I went home and I actually cried. And I had a very good friend of mine and said, stop the crying. She said, we're going to change your image. I said, it's not going to work. She said, yes, it is. I went back the following year, looked totally different. Okay, had my hair to here. I had highlights in my hair. I really had a sharp outfit on. I had heels up to there. And I got one of the organizers and I said, you remember me? And she said, no. I said, see that group picture there? I said, see that little dot? She looked at me. She said, that was you? I said, yeah. I said, that was me. Okay. She said, oh my God. She said, what a transformation. So that year I made the top 10. Got into the top 5, didn't win. I went back the third year and I won.
Wow.
So that was my introduction. Okay. But when I first went in, but I made a lot of friends. You were right. I made a lot of friends. And then I got a lot of encouragement. And then from that point on, I always knew what to do. Okay. But I would have to say my first introduction, yeah, I looked like a little pygmy coming across the stage. But that's how you learn, But you're right. I was the girl that came in for USA. She was fantastic. Okay. And even the girl from Uruguay, even though she didn't speak much English, she was very, and I didn't even know that it was her birthday that weekend.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So I have sent her some birthday wishes. She might come back because she enjoyed the experience. She liked you. She liked the girl that did USA. And she might come back next year because I think she'll be more prepared.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think she would do much, much better, okay, if she came back. So, but we're going to try to get a very exotic, exciting place for 2026.
Yay!
Yeah, I'm starting to work on that now, okay? My wheels are spinning, okay? I've got several different places, but, and I'm just praying that I don't get sick 6 weeks before the pageant like I did this time. I can get myself in there a little bit more, but I was determined that even sitting on a hospital bed, I was going to get up, I was going to make this work, and we did. So, and I'll tell you, Carlos did a fabulous job. Everybody's pictures look over the top amazing.
He did.
Yeah. I love that one of you where you're actually got the stash up and he's got you in the ballroom and it's that beautiful background, the chandelier. That's one of my favorites. Yeah.
It is my favorite also.
Oh, yeah. But there's so many of them. I was like, how do you select one? Absolutely beautiful. So
thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. So, I mean, anytime you want to wear your crown and sash in the Bahamas, you got my permission. Just put it on. I mean, even if you're walking down the street, you want to put it on just to grab exposure, go right ahead.
Okay.
Well, that's the crazy stuff sometimes you have to do, okay? When I had won Mrs. New Jersey Globe, that's what I had done. I was walking in the mall with my crown and sash on. And people would come up to me and say, how do we get involved? So sometimes you have to go outside the box to create something, okay? But it works.
It does.
Yeah, it definitely works. So, but like I said, you know, I know you're going to do a fantastic job this year. We're all very proud of you here. And what I like is that the Bahamas really is only a hop, skip, jumping away from us here in Florida.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, I can go over by cruise ship, which would take about a day and a half, but it's better off for me to just hop on a plane and come over. So, and Alexandria, she's great. Okay.
She's amazing.
Oh yeah. I mean, she's not leaving. And that's the other thing is that I tell all the girls, even when you come back and you crown your successor, it doesn't mean that it's the end of the road. That's why we don't put years on the sash. So that if, let's say, for instance, the next teen could go out and do something and we wanted you to go out and make that appearance, nobody's going to question it because there's no year on the sash. Okay. So when you've got this title, it's almost that you have it for life. All right. So it's like, it never ends, okay? And even though you'll get older and it could become, it could be like a miss, but you could always go out and represent us. So don't ever be afraid that, you know, next year you crown a successor and say, oh my God, I can't use my title. You can always use the title. I have girls here that have won like 3 and 4 years ago. And if, you know, the present girl can't make it, we definitely pull them back in. And they'll put that crown and sash on and gladly go out there and say, hey, you know, and I tell them, look, you won the title as Miss International World, use it, okay? And one of the things that it has done, and I'm very proud of one of our former Miss International Worlds, by her having the title, it actually boosted her modeling career, okay? She models all over. She was just in New York Fashion Week. Not only that, she doesn't even have to call an agency. They call her. So use that title to your best of advantage.
I will.
Absolutely. So, so you're in school. Anything special that you have planned coming up?
Well, I'm about to go on midterm break. Woo! Finally, a break from classes.
That's right. Yeah, break is coming up. And then, of course, we have holidays coming up here in November. And then, of course, Christmas comes up. All right. So we're looking to possibly do something for you for the Winterfest Boat Parade, which is coming up here. It's a big event. Happens in Fort Lauderdale. One of the largest Christmas events in all of South Florida. Okay. It's even televised. It is amazing. So I'm going to their office tomorrow to see what we can do and, you know, some of the things that we could do. And then when you're here, we'd love to have you visit the Bahamas Tourism Board because it's right here in Pembroke Pines. They would love to have you there. In fact, one of the girls that's working there did compete in the Miss Universe pageant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that would definitely be great for you. So there's a lot of things that we can definitely work on together. So going back to your schooling, how many years of law schooling do you have?
6. I have 6 years in school.
That's right, yeah. And you know what? You're probably never going to stop studying.
I'm not.
No, because you know what? The laws change. Laws change all the time. And you're always going to have to constantly figure out what's going on and what's not going on. And if there's new laws and then so believe it or not, I've known people that have gone, you know, did the 6 years. And then after that went back. And my friend that I was just telling you about, he said, Angela, he said, I have 10 years of law school. I said, oh my God. I said, I don't think I can sit in the classroom for that long. But you know what? Hey, if it means a career, sometimes that's what you have to do. So I see you getting a little touch up over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, every now and then we need something like that. So anyway, like I said, it's this was an amazing experience, you know, for everyone that came to the pageant, even for myself. I love to see, you know, all of you compete, all you ladies get together. And I was just told that we have about 5 minutes left. So what would you want to tell our viewers?
Well, I want to tell the viewers, thank you guys for watching. Thanks, Ms. Angela, for having me. I had a really good time having a conversation with you. I also enjoyed my pageant experience over there in Fort Lauderdale. I wish I could compete again, but unfortunately I can't because I have to give up the title. But that does not mean that I will not continue out my duties as Miss Teen International World.
Well, you know, you just said something there. You're Teen International World, but hey, you can always come back and compete in the Miss Division. So here you go. It never ends, okay? And then you can come back as a judge. So that's why I'm saying this is a never-ending thing. You know, once you're with us, I tell everybody, you're part of the family. This is for life. But anyway, dear, congratulations again. It was such a pleasure and an honor to have you on the show. I know we had a little bit of difficulties here with sound and whatever, but that's okay because our producer, he will fix it. He fixes it up and put your pictures in, so it'll look amazing. It will go live Thursday, so I'll make sure you get a copy of that. All right. And anytime you want to come back on the show, you let us know. You have an open invitation, and I hope to see you here very soon.
Thank you.
All right, dear. Thank you. Have a great week, and it's been a pleasure once again.
Thank you. Have a great week also.
You too. Bye-bye now.
Bye.